Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And we are very lucky to have an architect with us today. His name is Kachi, and he has a lot of experience in the industry, and he's going to share his experience with us. And we are actually very proud because Kachi is also an alumni of the school from over 10 years ago, more than 10 years. Right. So without delay, let me pass the floor to Kachi.
Right. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit nervous because I haven't have such sharing for a long time. First of all, please allow me to say thank you to Chris and Hong Kong U Space to give me such an opportunity to share my story and my experience to architecture to everyone. And thank you to the activities of open space, so to allow people to know more about Hong Kong U Space curriculum and our professional. And of course, thank you to you guys or every audience. Thank you for joining this function. So let me get into the sharing this afternoon. First of all, my name is Kachi. I am 30-something years old now. I graduated and I used to be a student in Hong Kong U Space architectural design program. Right. Yeah, that's my CV. I did do a little bit of preparation on this. So it's been a long time ago, 2008 and to 2010 in Hong Kong U Space. I was studying PDAS, which is the Professional Diploma of Architectural Studies. And after that, I went to London and Edinburgh for my bachelor degree and master degree. Then after that, I come back to Hong Kong, worked a few years, and I'm now a registered architect in Hong Kong. Right. Before I get into the professional cases sharing, I want to tell you about my academic experience. First, Hong Kong U Space. Right, there are two pictures here. Right, I spent two years in Hong Kong U Space. Until now, it is many of the teaching staff are still working here. The pictures on the left was our gathering after a final project submission, I guess. And the picture on the right-hand side is actually the night before we have a final project submission preparations. It is a very, very intensive course. And because our tutors and our teachers trying to give us as much as possible to help us to prepare the further study in the future. We have a different scale of project, like furniture design, building design, park design, even a stadium design or school design. We really learned a lot from them. We not just the knowledge and skills, but most importantly, the mentality on study. What we need to do, what we have to know for the future studies. These are some of my projects before. You can see a housing project, a commercial building project, a school design project. That was a very fruitful years. And then I went to London Kingston University to study my bachelor degree, and I spent 2 years there because the university think my portfolio is quite mature enough to join the year 2 of the bachelor degree. I didn't need to restart every years from the year 1. Right. Another 2 pictures. The pictures on the left-hand side was taken in the field trip. It should be in Belgium. The picture on the right-hand side is our architectural studio. we took this picture after a long design critics afternoon. And in Kingston University, we learned something different compared to Hong Kong U Space. You know, studying in another country, actually, you can have a lot of different perspective to architectural design. In UK, they emphasize the architectural history, tectonic, and workshop experience a lot. We have a lot of chance to explore the materiality, like this one. This is actually a plaster cast model of a 200 years old building. It is a part of the building. It's actually a corridor. And we spent weeks and 3 weeks or 4 weeks to make these models. And it is a very, very inspiring process to explore the model making technology, to explore different kind of material. And I did a lot of different model, actually. Some metals, some plasters, some ceramic, and even a wax model. This is a wax cast model. So Kingston University really emphasize on design through making and drawing. I used to spend 4 weeks for single drawings, so that you can have a better understanding on the materiality of a building, why the size of a bricks is like that, why the window size is like that. That is a very important stage for me, for my academic experience. Then I went to University of Edinburgh. Another 2 pictures. The pictures on the left-hand side was in a rugby match in Scotland. The picture on the right-hand side was my architectural studio. That is the degree shows. Degree shows means when everyone, at the end of the year, everyone have to present their project to the publics. Then a lot of models, a lot of drawings, a lot of effort put it in the degree shows. During the master program, we have a field trip in India. We went to India because the topic of the master program is about recycling of material and how to use a recycled material to design a building, to design an amenity for people living in slum in India. My project was dismantling an oil tanker and use that material to make a amenity, which is a public toilet. What is it? The labor community for the workers in the ship dismantling port. Right. Ooh, that's a typo. Right. In our industry, there are actually 3 roles I want to talk about this afternoon. The first of all is architect. The second one is designer. The third one is builder. Why I choose these 3 roles to share? Because I used to be an architect, a designer, and I'm a builder now. And then the architect. Right. This building, everyone may know this building. The name of this building is a V-Point in Causeway Bay. It is my first project involved in Hong Kong. That means this is my year out project. That means I finished my bachelor in Kingston and come back to Hong Kong, join a local practice, and help the architectural design team on this project. Why I wanted to share this project with everyone is because studying in university is very interesting. It's a beautiful experience. You can make any kind of model, any kind of drawings. You can do any kind of imagination as long as you can think of. But when you go to the real practice, it is another story. Right. If you look at the diagram of the left top corner, there is a very boxy building diagram there. But the end product is like a diamond-like commercial building. Being an architect, what you need to do is architect actually has a definition in the building ordinance. The definition of an architect is actually written in the building ordinance. Our responsibilities is to make sure the building built without violating any law. Hong Kong Building Ordinance is written in a very stringent way, and it is very difficult to design a building with a very complicated form, and we spend a lot of effort to design this building, and most of the effort is to explain our diamond-like building can fulfill all the law. The building, the very boxy diagram on the left-hand side is we call it basic mass of the building, and the government can easily understand what are you trying to do if you just submit a boxy building. But when we submit a diamond-like building, they don't understand. They don't understand how to calculate the floor area in your design. They don't know how to calculate the site coverage of the design. They don't know how you calculate the structure stability in the design. Then in the 1 year old experience, I spent 12 months with my senior architect to try to resolve all the problem of this form, and to ensure the design doesn't make anyone unhappy, including the clients, the governments, and the consultants and the contractors. The second project these are the end product. The second project I involved in Hong Kong is Maxim's Center. And you can see it is the same, a very similar kind of design progress. Start from a very boxy-like building. How can we mold it into a very interesting form with some sort of setback, some sort of very dynamic curtain wall gesture? It was the same. It was like a very similar design progress and government negotiation progress compared to Viewpoint. Right. Then the third project I want at in these two projects, I work in the local practice I work in is actually a lead architect of these two projects. That means the architect's responsible for all the design of the entire building. The next one I want to share is another role of architect in Hong Kong. This project is Shaw Auditorium in Hong Kong UST. I joined after graduate from master program, a master degree. I come back to Hong Kong and work in another local architects. In this project is belong to that local architects, but actually, our role was not the design architects or lead architects of this project. This building is actually designed by a Danish star architect. The role of us is the executive architect. Executive architect means we have to the foreign star architects give clients a design, and we help them to execute it in Hong Kong, including the government submission, including the construction drawings production, including the detailed development, and including the contract administration, which means to answer the clients how much we need to pay for build such a building, beautiful building. Right, these are some of the rendering of that building. It's a very beautiful auditorium. You can see it is a round shape, oval shaped building. They have a lot of function inside. It can be an auditorium sometimes. It can be a chamber box for chamber music. It can be a video production house. So, as an executive architect, we try to resolve all the problem related to regulation, related to statutory, relating to construction. Why there was a lot of detail in this building. I picked 2 details to share. First one is a door. The picture on the left-hand side is provided by the Danish architect. Simple line, beautiful drawings, very clean. However, it is very difficult to build. There is a lot of issue behind. This is not just a door. It is an exit door. It is a fire exit door, which means the door has to fulfill the fire resistance requirement required by the government. It is also an acoustic door, because inside the auditorium we have some acoustic requirements to ensure the acoustic quality inside is enough for a world-class performance. Third, it is an automatic door, because when a fire accident happens, the door have to open themselves. Fourth, it is also a part of a cyclorama. I'm not quite sure everyone do know what is cyclorama. Have everyone been to Taihongguan? Cyclorama is actually a white wall. People project image on that. So this is actually a background for projection. Then we receive a rendering from the from the architect, and we have to make this rendering buildable, which is the drawings on the right-hand side. I learned a lot from this project. I really learned a lot. Because in the school you can draw whatever you want, buildable or non-buildable. It doesn't really matter. But in the real world, everything you draw have to be buildable. And when you draw, you need to know how much is it actually. Because the client, the money in the client's pocket is there is a limitation there. They won't let you do whatever you want. So in this drawing, I have to choose the right kind of door material, right kind of ironmongery, right kind of the door finish, right kind of door core material. So that's it. Second drawing of the same project. On the left-hand side is the seating plan. On the right-hand side is actually the barrier. The barrier here on the plan. This is the detail section of that barrier. What's so special is this is it is not quite clear about the dimension here. The most important thing is actually this dimension. It is an 800 millimeter tall barrier. However, why is so special? Because in our regulation, the required protective barrier height is 1,100 meter tall. To make sure people won't fall down from a higher level to a lower level. This is actually the second floor of the auditorium. All right, you need to design something. The designer designs something not violating the law. Why they need to do this? Because when people sitting here, the protective barrier will actually block their wheel line to the performance on the stage. So it is fundamentally violating the function of this building. But at the same time, it contradicts to the regulation. What should we do? What should we do then? We spend many days and many nights to prepare a bunch of document for a submission to tell the government this is actually a safe design. You don't need to worry about people falling down, because in America, in United Kingdom, in France, in Australia, in New Zealand, we actually did that much of research. They all have the same or similar design of the protective barrier. What we need to do is actually at this latest structure here, this thing is the lighting rod for hanging all the lighting and the equipment here. So when people stand here, if he or she may fall down, at least there is something to support her or support him. So at the end, the government accepted this submission, accepted this modification of the regulations. But it is a very, very tough and complicated process. And not just the statutory issue, also the practical issue. Right, we have some equipment here. How to change it? How when it has problem? How to manipulate the angle of this light? Well, actually, they won't change the angle of the light every day. But when they need to do, they will do it. Then we design a movable panel here. This is actually a movable panel. So the technician can open this panel, then they can reach the lighting and the equipment from this area. And we have a socket here. This socket is actually for the vacuum machine when they need to vacuum the floor. So these drawings were not just buildability and statutory issue and maintenance issue and at the same time not violating the Danish architect's design. So that's why why I want to share these details with you guys. After many projects being an executive architect, finally I come to a chance to do my own design. It is not a very big design, but it's quite interesting. I joined the company I joined, who work as an EA of the Shaw Auditorium. They are actually very good at designing cinema and auditorium in Hong Kong. Basically, at that time, most of the MCL cinema is designed by the same local architects. This is one of them. Then I have a chance to design this cinema and renovate the building the building envelope. So it used to be a tiles buildings with not quite good looking pinkish, reddish tiles, and we propose a very colorful schemes with simple lines, with orders, make things more niche and well organized. It looks like a very simple design, and actually it is. But again, these drawings, every single lines are drawn to serve the statutory requirement. We have to make sure the material this bit is actually the car park. Because it is a car park, we cannot block the opening window here. We need to use some perforated material to allow the ventilation. And this ceiling, because it is a ceiling at the outdoor, this bit. We need to have a design, we need to have a windproof ceiling designed. And cladding. Our government requirement even have a requirement of the thickness of the cladding. If you make a cladding too thick, maybe a 3 meter cladding or 1 meter cladding, they don't like it. They don't want it. Of course, there's a reason behind it, but it's not the topic today. So I spend a lot of effort on this. And then I finally find my joy being a designer through this project. And of course, at the same time, I pass all my Hong Kong architect examination and is a registered architect. Then I changed that to another company to allow me to have more design opportunity. Right, this one is still under construction, although I have already left that company. This is a single family house in Hong Kong, 18,000 square feet in the cityscape, not in the peak, not in the new territories. It is in the city. I'm not going to tell you where it's at. It's maybe in Kowloon or Hong Kong, but of course it's from a very rich family. Again, every single line we draw have to fulfill the statutory requirement, and at the same time to provide certain aesthetic, and that means has to be beautiful and legal. Here is another project. This is a luxury residential project in Beacon Hill, Bat Ga San. Of course, it's very expensive residential development. And in this project, I'm not just the architect, and also an interior designer. Look at this car park. This is a car park. This is a full furnished car park with a lot of marbles, a lot of metals, a lot of luxury materials. And I found it very interesting is, although you work as an interior designer, but somehow there is an interfacing point between architect and designer. Because this is a car park. This is a driveway. Every single driveway is managed is under traffic department's management. They have the requirement of your driveway material. They have your requirement on the width of the driveway, so make sure all the car can turn left and turn right, because I'm not very good at driving. So I find the interfacing point between architect and interior design very interesting. That means if I am an architect and I do interior design projects, that's actually have a great advantage on it, because I can resolve the problem altogether. And the image on the right hand side is the interior part of that project. And then this is a project in Science Park. It is a public area of one of the new built laboratory in Science Park. The client's brief is very simple. They need us to design a public space with all those materials can fulfill the laboratory requirement. Basically, it is the antivirus, anti-moisture, and make sure no moisture and virus will go into the laboratory, things like that. And at the same time, they want to achieve a black platinum BIM requirement, if my memory is correct. So all the material is some sort of environmental friendly and recycled building material. That even these trees are from the existing trees on the site in Science Park. We chop it down, keep it for 2 years. When the building is ready to go, when the building is built, we can put it back as a cladding or in the concierge. And then these are my not as an employee's work. This is my own design, and these are a public design competition, and I didn't win that competition, but it is shortlisted. Very lucky enough. And it is a MIC concrete modularized public toilet design. And because I learned a lot on this, because I didn't have any knowledge on the MIC module. Then because it was shortlisted, I have I earned a lot of confidence. And then come to the next project, another public toilet design competition in Aberdeen barbecues, PHAB barbecue site. At this one, I didn't win anything in this one, but I love it very much. Third one, this one, another shortlisted design project. If you guys have ever been to the 東岸公園, you know where's 東岸公園 in North Point? There is a big word art. I joined that competition too, but we didn't make it to the final. It is only shortlisted, but lots of fun. I try to join every single competition opportunity provided, so that I can have more interesting time and a fun time, instead of just design these kind of luxury buildings, boxy buildings. Sometimes architects always want to have some fun on form making and doing some nice work to the public, not just serve the rich people. Another competition in Guntong, a public space competition. I really like it. We put a lot of efforts on studying the existing plans, how to change, how to modify it to make it a more dynamic circulation, more enjoyable environment, so the office people working around can have a nicer public space, I believe. These are the rendering of that project. This is another very exciting project. It is actually a submission of the Hong Kong Young Architect Award competition. My proposal is how to modify an abandoned bus to different function. This one is actually at the same site of Guntong. It is a workout bus. I'll put a lot of different kind of like rock climbing, cycling machine, and you can borrow some gym, a yoga mat, some dumbbell from the bus. And this is a library. This is another bus library from the same competition, but another module. Library bus in Sam Shui Po. Again, as an architect, I just don't want to 24/7 work on the projects to serve rich people. Sometimes, if I get a chance to make a proposal for people around you, for the community, I will really enjoy it. Right, after a few years working in the local architectural practice and consultants, and I found it a little bit confused, because I guess being an architect, one of the most joyful part is make things through your hand, and not just sitting in the office to draw stuff and to fulfill some wish which is actually not, I think it's not that essential and important. I love the process of manufacturing. I adore the craftsmen. I adore the people who actually build things. Then, this is me. Very beautiful photo. Looks very slim and young, but yeah, a lot of makeup. This is my partner my wife, and we founded our own practice. What our practice do is we get a job, we do our own design, and we build it. We call it design and build, because we want to know every single bit of our design. We want to take responsibility to every single line we draw, and it really do. We choose the ironmongery, we choose the material, we choose even the nuts and bolt and screw. We choose every structural material. Right, this is me. What I was doing is drawing the setting out. If in case some of the people not in the industry, if you don't know what is setting out is actually drawing this plan on the right, left-hand side, a floor plan on the site in one-to-one scales, so that the builder, these people, these bunch of workers, they know how to build your space. And it is very fun job. I love it very much, because when you work in office, when you work, study in the school, you draw 1 to 20 drawings, you draw 1 to 5 drawings, you draw 1 to 100 drawings. You don't have any chance to draw one-to-one drawings on site. When you draw one-to-one site drawings, you know the problem of your design. It is not always feasible. Sometimes when you draw it on site, you realize the problem. You amend your design, and to resolve the technical problem. It is very important part as an architect, I guess, and I believe. This is our because we only started our practice like 2 years ago. This is the first project we have built. Very simple residential project for a 70 years old couple. Simple timber materials, simple cabinet, simple drawing desk. It is simple but essential, because just like I said, we choose every single bit. We can take responsibility fully for the design. Second project, and another residential project for a very young entrepreneur. Again, all these details, we draw it by ourselves, we make it by ourselves. Not actually we made it. We engage a factory. We buy material for them. We tell them what to do, and they feedback to us what can be done, what cannot be done. Is there any technical problem we need to resolve? We work closely to the factory and the workers. We need to know how they work. We need to know how they think, to make sure our design can be executed. And then this project brings us the first design award. Although we are very proud to have such award, but we are even prouder to actually build our own design, because at those projects we are not just the designer, we are also the builder and the contractors. We not just draw something, throw out the drawings to let the contractor do whatever they want to do and they can do. We know everything, how much we cost on every single bit. We know how long has to be take to execute this project. There's another office project in a industrial building. And the last one I want to share is the chair. When we started to study architecture, a lot of senior and a lot of architects tell you the first thing you have to do is to design your own chair and make your own chair. And then because we founded our own practice, when we engaged our own factory, we finally have the chance to design our own armchair for the first time. It is a very happy experience. Like I said, what I draw and what I build is a very fun, very happy things to do. So more photo record. What I'm doing was setting out on wall, clean up the project before hand over to the clients. This is my wife checking the E&M provision. This is a very good E&M technician. I like it a lot. 老細你得唔得㗎? This is what he said to my wife when she doing stuff. Another picture, I was cleaning up the site. I like cleaning up the site, actually, the last thing, because when you make your construction site tidy, you know the process, you know the stage, and you know what is missing. You know what have been done. It is a very, very important. And I know my face look very, it's quite weird, but that's all. Thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask.
Thank you, Kachi. Thank you, Kachi, for sharing your growth throughout these years and your different roles in the industry. Very fascinating and very inspiring. So I would like to see, since we have a little bit of time left, I would like to see if anyone here have any question for Kachi. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm a retired person. I'm now 70 years old now. I don't have too much time, like the rest of the audience, to start with the architectural career from day one. But I'm interested in the architecture, in design, in building, or whatever you have said. So what would be your advice to an old person like me?
Right. If I yes, there are some, but maybe I'm not too old enough or mature enough to ensure my advice is valuable. But actually, I know that's a very beautiful thing to say, but it is true. Architecture is for everyone. You have a lot of way to appreciate architecture. Hong Kong actually have a lot of masterpiece you can appreciate, like Hong Kong Bank, like the latest Henderson buildings, like the Tai Hong Guan, like Wui Jin. There's a lot of very beautiful buildings in Hong Kong you can appreciate. But the thing is, the way to appreciate this building. One of the opportunity is if you like photo taking, you can take the photo of the buildings, a specific part you like it. You can. This is what you can do. And the most one of the things I love to do is drawings. We draw the buildings, and you know how the buildings. You actually don't know, but you know a little bit of how the building can be built, and that's a good thing. The second advice, maybe some people find it's boring, but I think it's quite interesting. You can actually download the building ordinance from the government website to read the building ordinance, and you find it's actually making no sense. Although it makes a lot of sense. It makes no sense to building design, but it makes a lot of sense to safety, to the responsibility of the built environment, and you will learn a lot from there. I'm not quite sure if I can. One more thing, there is an organization in Hong Kong, is Architectural Center. If you visit their website, sometimes they have the Archi tour, and they would lead you to the building. You can rare chance to go inside. Just go have a look. That may give you some inspiration.
May I raise another question? Okay.
Feel free.
Thank you very much for your advice. And you have just mentioned about drawing.
Right.
I was grow up in the age that there is no computer.
Right.
So that's it. They're very demanding in using the architectural software in drawing things, because I have to start from the beginning.
Not really. And I spent 2 years in Hong Kong U Space, 2 years in London, 2 years in Edinburgh. That's in total 6 years of studies. Until my final year, I used computer to draw. Before that, all of my project is by hand drawings. Because after all, computer drawing is just a tool. Some people may be misunderstanding that computer drawings is for precision. It's actually wrong. It's not correct. Michelangelo don't have a computer. The computer-aided drawing software is only for communication, to reproduce the drawing, so that everyone have the same drawings on hand. They won't make any mistake. It is for communication simply. That's all. So if you love to drawings, you can grab yourself a drawings book, a paper and pencil and a rubber. You can just start drawings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Actually, maybe allow me to share a little bit also. The program Kachi graduated from professional diploma. Recent years, well, first of all, age is never an issue with architecture. So recently, we actually received some students who are retirees. So again, let me emphasize, age is not a problem. If you're interested, just go to our website. We have some short courses and some diplomas that might be suitable for you if you want to fulfill your interest in the area. Thank you.
Actually, the higher education and university is open to everyone. I have a 60 years old in my master studies, a 60 years old classmate in my master studies. I have a when I was 20 something in Hong Kong U Space, I have a 40 years old classmate in the same classroom. It's actually not a problem for anyone who is interested to start their study in architecture.
And this year also, one of the retirees that I mentioned, he was actually the top of his class. And he ran on to study a degree program. This year he's going to Hong Kong U for his master's. Yeah. So it's amazing how much you can do disregard your age. Yeah. So any other questions you might want to ask Kachi since we have this opportunity?
Thank you. Thanks for sharing your story. It was it felt very natural as you went through from architect to designer to engineer, and I guess as a 30-something-year-old myself, interested in architecture but not in the industry at the moment. Always liked drawing things as a kid. How, I guess also carrying on from that question in terms of getting into architecture, maybe more so as a career for work as well. What would you say for someone at like a 30-something looking to change careers maybe to architecture? How well would something like that be received? I mean, you mentioned a lot about classmates being mature students as well, not just undergrads, but I don't know, how does the industry see or welcome or, I don't know, interact with these sort of students?
Again, right. Our industry, in my understanding, is actually very open and welcome to grown up. very welcome to the mature people, because after all, architecture is something very expensive, and we need experienced people to make an experienced decision. So, not talking about whether you wanted to start your study now or you want or not. Age is not a problem, but one of my professors said being an architect or studying architecture is not just a career, it's a lifestyle, because you have a lot of things to commit. The studying time is long, the course is intensive, and a lot of all-nighters. You have to think about it if you want to go to the studies. But only if you commit, and you will just make it. The program I studied in Hong Kong U Space was never an easy program. I can quite remember when in the first year we have like 90 students in the classroom, but there are only 50 or 40 or 50 people can actually graduate from the program, because building is a very serious thing. You need a lot of hustle, you need all-nighters, a lot of commitments to train up to be a professional. That's why the program is a professional diploma. I'm not quite sure if I can answer the question.
Yeah, it does. That definitely does give a flavor of, I guess, what it's like to be an architect. So I guess one more question. I guess as one would graduate from as a student, look for work in the industry, maybe as an architect, maybe, I don't know, as a designer, maybe as well. How would that sort of would you have any comments on that in terms of, I guess, looking for a job and I guess being with cohorts who are much younger than you, fresher than you? I don't know.
Okay. You means is it easy to get a job?
Well, I guess would there be a preference for undergrads
age?
or yeah
For the
no.
academic experience? Right. Not really.
Okay.
Not really, because like I said, it can be architect, you can be a designer, you can be a client side, work for a developer, you can be in a contractor side.
Sure.
Contractor do drawings too.
Sure.
We throw them the design drawings. They draw it in a practical way.
Okay.
They do. They have their own. They have a lot of job opportunity to, and I'm not saying a simple 裝修 contractor. Of course, a very big contractor. They build massive building, massive infrastructure. As long as you have a correct mentality and correct and suitable skills, they will hire you. Age is not a problem, I guess.
Okay, so then say like you've got less years left until you probably naturally retire, so maybe they look for others. No, that's not what you think then. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
A follow-up question to you. Have you ever imagined how contractor hire people?
No, I guess.
I guess the people working for contractor don't have a architectural degree.
Okay.
They maybe used to be a 裝修師傅 and they have some site experience. They know a little bit of drawings.
Yeah.
And these are the people available in the market. Contractors hire these people, and after years, they are the people who actually build.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
I can share my own experience with you because I was in maybe around your age, and actually my first profession was an electrical engineer. Actually, and I studied overseas, came back to Hong Kong, and I realized my passion is architecture. So I went back and pursued my study and eventually became an architect. So if that is something that you can relate to, age is never a problem, but the most important part is passion, I think, if you want to dive into architecture. Yeah, like what Kachi said, there's a lot of hard work, a lot of all-nighters, but when you love something, when you love what you're doing, it's not a problem. Yeah.
Same as Chris. My first professional is actually fashion design and fashion merchandise. Architecture is not my first professional.
And we do meet a lot of colleagues and friends in the profession. One of my ex-colleagues, he studied philosophy before he studied architecture. And even famous architects, they had other previous profession as well. So for architecture, like Kachi said, is a very open-minded profession. Actually, what kind of experience you have before enriches what you're going to get in the future. So that is actually a good thing. So I think we have a few minutes left. Maybe we can take one more question if there's any. All right, if no, I think don't be too shy. Feel free to ask anything. If not, then maybe we'll finish the talk today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again for your attendance. Thank you, Kachi, for your time.
Thank you.